dope is sometimes I feel that when we do so much by default, we don't sit back and take a breath of fresh air to even realize how much of an impact that we are to people. Because when you just be and when you just do, you don't trip off that stuff. You know how they say sometimes you got to step back and pat your own self on the back? But when that's what you do and that's what your character is, and those are the values that you have, you don't trip off. You don't have to pat yourself on the doggone back. That's what you do.
Yeah.
But the purpose of us sitting here right here is for you to pat yourself on the back.
Yeah, they want to keep me at the bottom of the totem pole. Hopped off the bench and then I jumped into the starting role. I quit the game and then I jumped into the owner's role. That's pretty good 'cause I ain't never made the honor roll.
Piggybacking though, I think you elaborated that excellent. I think you cannot get caught up in the accolades of it. I think you got to just get caught up in loving the work or with loving whatever you do. So with me, as far as just being a vessel to people or extension to help people or whatever I'm doing, whether it's life, kids, music, family, it's all genuine. So I'm never even looking at that. I'm looking at the results of the work that I'm putting in. How do I affect this person? How do I affect the situation? Never about, unfortunately, it's never about me though, in that situation. But on the flip side though, you'll run yourself so raggedy that sometimes you gotta step back, detach yourself, and just look at the body of what you've done. Or also on the flip side, if people taking advantage of you, step back, detach yourself, and realize has time ran its course, or do I have to show this person just because I'm this way, I'm not to be pushed over.
Yeah.
I have, we all have that other side at least, but it's not to be displayed because I don't think that's how life should work. But yeah, you're right. I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, and the fact to be still standing in 2021, we are living through a pandemic that did not come with a handbook. We can't even go to our grandparents or, some of our elders because they never lived through a pandemic. So we were chosen to be here right now during this whirlwind that's going on outside of our doors. But to still be able to make an impact and not allow the fear that is a disease itself that is infecting so many people, because people have lost a lot, yet at the same time I say that they've gained a lot. And I feel for you, because let's be real, I've known you for a long time. I've known you for a very long time. And just to see how the year may have changed, but Champ has never changed. Ever.
Appreciate that.
And to be able, and you don't see that all the time in people. You feel what I'm saying? And I mean, just when I tell you, I have pulled up Made It. I had to watch Made It again.
For real?
I totally had to. It's one of those things where the state of the world right now.
Through my ups and my downs and my slips and my falls, my shorts and my gains and my losses, my all. We made it. Yeah, off the slave ship, yeah, we made it. Even though you tried everything to bring me down, we rose from the fire, it's our time now. We made it, yeah, we made it.
I've been through some real shit. How could I be fake? Keep my grass low, cause I need to see snakes. I just
The
wanna
state
be
of
great
people's
without
mind
being
right now, especially with our community, brown and black people, I feel that we have woken up in ways that we didn't even realize that we woke. Like, oh, that's what's going on here? I'm woke? Okay, I'm a part of that. But with you making Made It, and on top of that, I mean, let's be honest, Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, 92nd birthday, is on Monday. Black History Month is right around the corner. We're seeing, especially with the riot that happened at the Capitol building, we see white privilege, but we also know the only thing that we have is black privilege. That's all that we do know. And to be able to see artists that make music like Made It in a video with that reenactment, you don't see that, Champ. You don't see that.
Two parts to this. The first part, early talking about the pandemic, it brought some out of me though, to be transparent, because for the first time I was actually able to sit down.
Yes. Say
So
that again.
I honestly contribute all my success going forward to the pandemic, because I believe had I not been able to sit down, I wouldn't have been able to like focus. I was able to sit down. I had time to be in the basement, write, record, punch myself in. And you said something about fear. It is a disease, but the pandemic, just watching people reading, studying, I think it brought the best out of a lot of hustlers.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and a lot of people broke, but I believe in that moment, it showed who the winners was, who the tough people was, and I believe that it began my new journey. The second part that you was talking about, you mentioned, let me not get it wrong. So purpose. So when we first got acquainted, I was just doing music because I was talented.
Yeah.
And so I would just write bars. I can write a hook because I was talented, but nothing. I always battled because I wanted to have the substance, but I was in a group. Nothing was wrong with the group. So once again, I don't want to throw no shade at the group, but I was just conforming and just kind of getting by to please.
Absolutely.
At the time, like we was trying to get radio spin, and so I was just trying to make a record for that, make music for that gap, but I never really fit in. I never really fit in. You can see that I probably...
Does it go back all the way from when you were younger?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Even back then when I started, I always struggled with, even when I was in every group, I always wrote some real stuff that didn't fit in with the record.
Like, we're gonna save that for another track.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, facts, man. But I never could just fit in, but I was talented enough just to get by. And plus, I'm from the hood, so I did have experiences where I can coast my way through it, but I was never comfortable just writing crap I don't say crap, but just to write that record, just to make a hit or just to get on. Although I've done it and I'm guilty of it in the past, I never was comfortable. And so, piggybacking now, I'm obligated. And I don't want to act like I'm not the pastor on the songs. Like, I still curse. I still turn up.
You're
but
human.
I only want to write with a purpose. Me personally. But on the flip side, I don't want to call nobody out. I listen to everything. Because, like, I'm a human. I got every emotion.
Yeah.
So, it's a time and a place for every other music. But I will tell you, I'll repeat this to myself. Monday through Friday, when life kicking your ass, I'm your guy. Facts. Facts. Maybe Sunday morning too, on your ride to church. Facts. I'm your guy.
Yeah.
I'm your guy.
Yeah. And then you made a really good point, because I feel that with the impact that you have with people, because you work with the youth, you always have, you always will. You can communicate with them in a way because you've walked in their shoes. You've walked down those trenches before in that darkness, and knowing that you got to go through the dark to get to the light. But you said something just a moment ago that really stuck out, and that was the fact that you always knew that you were different. How did you be able to accept that? That takes a lot, when that feeling of knowing that you are different. Excuse me. But again, and it's not knocking anybody. It's nothing. It's just you sometimes catch yourself not being real to who you are, and it's not that you faking. None of that. Sometimes you don't even feel like wasting the oxygen at that moment, because they're gonna be like, oh, here you go Champ on that stuff again. But when did you get to the point to be like, you know what, it's time for, yes, I am on that again. So what's up?
Yeah, man, because first my partner got killed a couple years back, maybe more than that, but I remember he called me 2 days before he got killed, and he was like, Champ, I need help. And so with that being said, I know, like, me transitioning, he watched it, and me transitioning and preaching to him as I was transitioning, 1 foot in and 1 foot out or whatever. I know that he was looking for something, and what he was looking for was what I was transitioning into. And to this day, it kind of eat me up that I wasn't able to help him, but he got shot like a day later, and it kills me. But I used to try to